time. I was just going to kind of explain some of this.
It was November 18th, though.
Yeah, I was toying around with a few different ideas. All right, everybody. It is now 6:30. We're going ahead and start our meeting today. For roll call, we are all here. And I want to address the elephant in the room. Why are we sitting at this table? I know that's a little strange. So the first part of the meeting, we're going to have a talk on how we're going to work together as a team for the next 4 years, talking about committee assignments, where we're going to sit up on the dais. Today, I just threw out kind of the name tags other than these two, because I'm going to personally ask y'all to sit next to me when we get up there. So we'll get into that before we go into the actual agenda. So in the past, mayors have dictated kind of where people were going to sit up on the dais. I don't feel like I need to play second grade teacher with anybody. Y'all can pick where y'all want to sit. So I kind of just threw it up here today just based on seniority. But y'all can decide where y'all want to sit. I will prefer if Lisa does, if you would do me the honor, sitting right next to me.
I'm honored.
Because you are very good at knowing when meetings are about to go sideways or to keep me on track. Sitting next to you the past couple years has really been good to me. So I want to thank you for that so much. And Bill, the other side of me, I've been used to sitting next to Danny and all the knowledge source over there. So now I kind of want you on my other side. So I kind of have that same sense of familiarity. Plus you are the longest serving council members up here on the dais, correct? Are y'all okay with picking y'all's own, or do y'all want me to pick?
If I can't sit where I always sat, I'll just sit I'll sit where you used to sit, because she'll sit where I sat, and I'll sit where you sat.
Yep, that works.
You guys will have to turn on your microphone. I'll be Lisa Jr.
All right. Well, y'all have until next month, or until Thursday to decide that. If y'all want to, after the meeting, if y'all want us, we can move some stuff around and we can actually get pictures later on, because I'm not really expecting this meeting to be very long today. We only got 3 agenda items. All right. Dress code. So for the next 4 years, I want to go ahead and make sure we're all in agreement on this. And I'm going to start off with my thoughts, but I'm going to open it up to everybody. The mayor in the past has usually always just said, this is the dress code, this is what we need to follow. I do believe we were elected to do the business of the city. So on Thursdays, and plus this tradition, I remember going back when I was a kid, seeing people up here in their monkey suits and all that kind of stuff. So on Thursdays, I would like to keep it as business as possible. At some meetings on Mondays. So I'm open to something more like business casual. I know kind of in the past, I'm sorry ladies, I'm not very good on female fashion, but for men, usually we wore slacks and button-ups. And now on Thursdays, that's when we'd wear the actual tie and the jacket. Now I'm fine with just wearing khakis and a city shirt or any kind of appropriate polo shirt for men, and the equivalent to what, I don't think we're gonna, really matter that much, but I just want to go ahead and we be on the same page now before it does become a problem. I don't want anybody to wear anything too distracting to distract from the meeting itself. So what's y'all's thoughts on my idea there? Do y'all have other ideas on it?
I need to borrow a tie.
Need to borrow a tie. Like I said, I'm not very good with women's fashion, so y'all kind of have to keep y'all's own accountability.
Well, I don't think anybody's ever dressed inappropriately.
I don't think so either.
And I think what I'm wearing is fine for either Monday or Thursday, and I will continue to dress the way I've dressed for the last 4 years.
That works for me.
Okay.
All right, so we're all on the same page with that. All right. Now for committee discussion. I had a lot of thought go into this in a lot of different directions. And it's really up to council because it's in our ordinance what I am allowed to do with these committees. The last time they were updated was 2007. our committees and the ordinances. We've been doing it wrong for quite a while, and I've noticed it, and, you know, I love Skip to death. He just wanted to just keep continuing the way how things were. But as they sit now, according to our Municode online, we have 6 of them: finance, human resources, parks and green space, planning and development, public safety and transportation are together, and public utilities. And I feel like.
Can you go back over those slower?
Yeah, and I can give you a list of them too here. The first one's finance, human resources, parks and green space, planning and development, public safety and transportation are combined, and public utilities is by itself. And I know we've been asking a lot of people that come in here for ordinances, changes and stuff like that. We want to stick to our code as much as possible. That's what I've been hearing from a lot of council and from our staff. So I believe if we actually want to play this by the book, I'm fine with that. But I do believe it was updated in 2007. The last time it was updated was 1994. So they actually updated it a lot sooner than now. So I believe it's a modern time, calls for modern positions kind of deal. So if we want to look at it, I actually do have what I would call the dream setup for what council committees should be, which would be number 1, finance, public safety by itself, public utilities by itself still,
Go a little slower. Public. Okay.
planning and development, transportation, off by itself, and then instead of parks and green space, we do facilities, which includes parks and green space and all the rental buildings that we now currently use. I don't think that was really talked about much before. I will say, if you go back to the 1994 code, back in the red book, back before they had Municode, some of those committees are silly in today's terms. I believe one was for cemeteries. Had its own committee. So what's y'all's leisure there? I do have another option. I don't think it's going to be a popular option, but I at least want to talk about it since this is our first meeting. Y'all want to hear that option first?
Sure.
So we all research all the committees. Let's be honest, it's not like we all stay in our own committees. We all look into everybody else's committee because we get the agenda, we do the research on the agenda, and we come prepared. And having our committees, especially recently and for a while, we don't really use our committees very often. If we do, it's very sparsely, and no one really even likes coming in for those extra meetings anyways. But also personally for the mayor, when you hand out committee assignments, it's one of the toughest things because everybody's not happy with their committees they get. There's going to be maybe 1 or 2, possibly 3 that are happy with their committees. And it just creates division early on. And I really don't want a lot of division. I want us to actually work together. My goal is actually to keep us, is Jim in the room, actually keep us on the 4th page of the paper instead of the 1st. That's actually where the business gets done in the city.
Above the line, is it?
Yeah, I really don't want Loganville to be in the front page. I want it to be on the 4th page. But with that said, there are areas where we could still have ad hoc committees. For example, we have a lot going on with planning and zoning, usually always, so we could create one for that. Or we could have one, say we want to build a new park or a new whatever, we could create a committee at that point and assign people to it, but not have standing committees. A lot of cities our size don't do the committee system anymore because they have the staff. So a lot of them will get their agenda, do their research, and then the staff members will actually come up, present their items. We ask the staff person the questions that we have, and then we make our decision on Thursday. So that's another option.
All right, let me ask you a question. How does the format of that work during a meeting?
Yeah, so Monroe does this. I believe they do have districts though, but there are other cities that do that. So we just go by the agenda, like say on the agenda, maybe economic development, well, that's not even on one of the committees, but say there's nothing to do, it just wouldn't be on there for that.
Right, but
For that
like,
month.
if there's no committees, then who talks the thing? Who says the stuff?
The staff,
Okay.
the staff, the experts that actually do most all the work anyways.
So they just come up, Brandon, based on the agenda? I
Hey,
mean, you're not calling them up, they're coming up voluntarily
call them
based
up.
on the agenda?
We would still go by the agenda, so like, for example, we need to appoint the solicitor. That'd probably be a Danny item, or have somebody from, public safety, so it'd probably just be Danny coming up to talk about it, unless we want to actually get, Dick Lowry or someone up here to talk about it. Because a lot of times, that's kind of what we do anyways.
I was gonna say, yeah,
We kind of already do that.
the committee chairperson invites them up, but we're pretty much there.
Yeah. That,
Patty, bring your microphone down closer,
Oh, I'm
please.
sorry, I thought y'all could hear us because we're kind of close.
Well, we can, but I don't think they can.
but it really is up to council, because the way it is in Municode, let me read it for you. It's like, or the mayor shall have standing committees for the city, and then they're listed, the way that I listed them with the finance and all that. So we would have to, whichever way we decide to do it, we need to let Paul know. If you want me to do committees, we can. And I want to get y'all's thoughts on why we should keep committees as they are, or
Right.
even modified.
I think that if you do away with these committees, like, let me say this, when I know that Bill's got something coming up on the agenda, I call Bill and talk about it, because he's already done the research. And likewise, if you take this away, I think what's gonna happen is you're gonna have every one of us calling every one of y'all all week long, from the time we get our packet until Monday night to Thursday night. And I think that may be an issue for y'all, not us, but for y'all.
I feel like we kind of already do that, so, to be honest.
There's a reason we call it Hell Week.
Yeah, when we have a lot of stuff, especially on planning and zoning, that week is a lot of phone calls. But I do see your point in that.
If we do what you're suggesting, who chooses the people to invite? Like if I want to do something with, I don't know, Public Works, that's what I do now. And I'm not on Public Works because we're not going to have committees. Do I make the decision as to who I'm going to choose to work on a project that I'm interested in? Or?
So to get on the agenda now, you're supposed to have either ask the mayor to put it on there for you or get a majority vote from council. So for something like that, say you want to thank Jeremy for doing an awesome job, you just come and say, hey, I would like to recognize Jeremy this month. I'd be like, definitely, Patty, it will be on the agenda. Then I will call Danny, text Danny, be like, hey, Danny, put this on the agenda. And that's how it is written now in our rules. Not saying we have always followed that, but that's how it's supposed to work.
Okay,
So that would still continue the same.
okay.
But now, usually Danny will have the items, and he'll go ahead and put out the agenda, kind of like he already does, the action items for the city.
Okay.
So,
Go.
So if I want to bring up retention ponds, and I feel like we just need to beat that dead horse one more time, usually I would contact Danny and say, hey, Danny, could we put this on the agenda? Are you saying going forward, you want us to contact you? You want me to get 4 people to say, we would like to have this on the agenda and contact you?
I'd prefer you to ask either me or Danny, maybe us at the same time, if it's something real that could be a heated topic. If it's something small like recognition, recognizing somebody, yeah, just either call me. But if it's something that could be potentially hazardous to our health, mentally or emotionally,
Or get us above the line.
yes, then that might be where you might want to get me and Danny involved, so then we could all 3 talk it
So
out
if it's a
together.
4th-page conversation, it's gonna go good, we'll do it, but if it's a front-page conversation,
Yeah, if it's a front page conversation, it's gonna
we're
take
gonna need
some.
to learn to work together.
Yes. And there's, with the new system, there's gonna be some wrinkles that we're gonna find. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be perfect, but I would say, and Paul, I know you're standing over me, like, over here, probably shaking your hands behind me, because I'm probably creating a bunch of work right
Danny
now.
has the gavel, so.
Well, I didn't figure we would need a gavel. I think Skip only ever used it to actually call the meeting to order.
Well, you used it.
I was gonna say, I know Ray used it, and I think John Howard broke his off one meeting, but, so,
Mayor, if I may say something, we're
Yes.
currently doing what we're asking to do already. I mean, anybody can call and ask stuff to put on the agenda. The agenda is not set until you all approve the agenda.
prove it. Sure.
So, I mean, Lisa, you've asked to put retention ponds in, there's no problem, we put it on there. I don't approve the agenda, y'all do. So if Patty, if you say, hey, I want Jim here to discuss something, then that would go through me, and then I would have the department head here to speak on whatever topic you all may want. So we're currently doing it. The reason I'd like to get rid of committees is because of this. If we have a committee meeting, let's say it's usually controversial, you all want to be there. You all want to be a part of it, because you've all have called me like, well, can I come there? And I say no, because now it's a quorum and now it's called. So if you're going to have a committee meeting, you might as well just do a call to council meeting if it's that important.
I agree.
Because you all want to be there. You're all going to hear it regardless. Eventually, it's going to come to y'all, because the committee cannot approve something. Only the city count, the full weight or the majority of the council can approve that. So that was one of the reasons. I think committees were done back in the day when we didn't have a professional staff. But now everything comes on the agenda. I put the agenda together with department heads, comes to y'all. You can add stuff. You can say, we're not going to have that, and then you would remove it. But, you know, item 1C is the approval of the agenda. Y'all had to vote on that.
Quick question there for you, Danny, on that. You said that the staff would come to one of us. Would they have a certain person to come to, or just whoever they choose?
They go to Danny.
Yeah, everything
Everything
flows to me
goes
for
through
the
Danny.
departments.
Okay.
But if you wanted to talk about, if you wanted Robbie to discuss something about a zoning case that was coming up next month, then you would say, hey, Danny, I would like to have so-and-so here to discuss this, because I'm gonna have some questions, and they would be here.
But you go to Danny
But
first.
department heads, if they have stuff on the agenda, they're already here anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, and just to clarify, even if you don't have the standing committees, a lot of places do kind of hybrid, like Danny's saying. They still technically have chairpersons of these various committees, but those chairpersons are like the King of England, kind of, you know, just name the chair and the staff handles it all. But you still, whether you keep the committees or don't, you'd still sort of categorize your agendas by these categories anyway. Let's talk about finance items. Let's talk about transportation items. Let's talk about public utility items. And then your staff, of course, your staff's already doing staff reports for you, you know, and they would just continue. But also, just to go to that one specific question, any of y'all can request an ordinance to be drafted or be considered. All of y'all have that authority to do it. And usually it comes through your city manager. Of course, it can come through the mayor. It doesn't matter, but this is your paid guy to run your city, right? So you want to generally try and funnel everything through him, because he's the one here day to day taking care of your department heads. But whether you get rid of the committees or not, you can still move more towards the staff sort of managing it all, and then specifically go into like you don't have to feel bound that if it's my committee, I have to make the motion, or the decision sort of has to start with me. It can come from anybody. And especially since y'all don't have districts, y'all are all at large, so you don't have districts, hey, this is in my district, this issue is in my district, or my district. You know, the whole city is each of y'all's district.
So I mean, I still, that's an interesting twist that you said, Paul. I mean, I still like the idea of having committees, changing them up. You know, I think that you're right. We need to, if we're gonna have them, we need to make the
Modernize
ordinance right. Make it correct. You know, but having, I think I've probably had, I don't know how many committee meetings I've had over the years. A couple, you know, less than a handful. But the committee worked out, you know, if you have some type of, you know, I mean, but
Last-
economic development had to do something for the 254, right? I mean, but if we do the chair thing, then, you know, we can decide if, you know, or have everybody on the committee if we want, you know? But I still like the idea of having some type of role. I mean, we're all looking at everything, but we're also, I like the idea of having a little bit more focus in a certain area. A little more ownership. I like the ownership part.
Yeah, I would,
like what you said, yeah, I agree with that.
for me, I'm not ready to let go of committees. I like to sink my teeth into mine, and I know that Bill sinks his into his, and you and everybody, and if I have a question, I know I can come to y'all, and certainly to staff, so. And I don't know, are we saying that we're having too many committee meetings, and this is what caused it? Because I don't think we have enough
probably
committee
didn't have
meetings.
two, did we,
Yeah,
last
yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have
Even with the moratorium
many.
coming up, I think we had one
Yeah.
on mine, so that's just my opinion.
But I do agree with Danny on committee meetings. I think you're just covering the same topic twice, because the questions covered in the committee meeting will also be covered, or presumably be covered, once all council is together. So I think it's more or less a waste of time to have a committee meeting unless there's some specific reason.
Yeah, for economic development, we cleaned up a lot of the language and kind of did a lot of that thinking before we as council spent 2 hours going into it. So that I do believe committees can be necessary if we use them. I didn't mean to be like that to you, I'm sorry. But I'm just saying, so they can be useful, but they can also be kind of a waste too. So it just really depends on the topic at hand.
Exactly. I agree.
So kind of what's y'all's pleasure? Y'all wanna, it sounds to me, taking a straw poll, it looks like we might want to modernize our current lineup in our ordinances and have committees. Is that kind of like the head shake nod from everybody?
I think so.
Yeah, being the new kid on the block, I'll play follow the leader for right now, till I figure out what's going on. But I think the way you're saying, if you're gonna keep committees, let's update them and get them in line with what really is going on.
It's been since 2007 since they've been updated, so it's time. We at least update them to a modern system.
Right, okay.
And the modern system was that second list that you gave out, right?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
What was 5 and 6 in that second list?
Facilities and transportation.
Okay. So you're keeping those separate?
Yes.
Okay,
Because in our ordinance, public safety and transportation are together. And if we're going to have committees, everybody knows I'm going to want Bill on transportation. But public safety, I don't think is really,
But I wanted planning.
no, you're going to have to fight over that. I think everybody.
And I'm gonna roll the ball, and whoever gets to it first gets it, right?
And you're in the middle.
Yep. So, all right.
So Public Works will be non-existent
No, it will be assistant under facilities.
under facilities?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
like
you'll
it
still
is
have
now.
Public Works, but you also have facilities, because Public Works can, has a
It's
lot to
the
do with our
same now.
parks.
So what are you doing with
The
economic
two are together
development?
now.
So we don't have I know we tried, but we don't have a staff person to really do that. So I know I've done it, it's hard to do a committee when you don't have a staff person, a department head, or somebody to do the legwork for you. I know I immerse myself in it, I don't want to get into everything I've done. But, so, if we ever do get some staff for that could be something that we could revisit, but it's not currently, I think that one came up during Ray's years. He created that committee, but it never got updated
What
on
was
our
your
ordinance.
question? I didn't even hear.
What's going with economic development?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so, and there's another one we dropped to ethics, because that was a current committee, even though it wasn't listed on our 2007 ordinance either. And me and Danny talked about that one, and really with an ethics committee, you can't really even have a committee meeting because it's always gonna be about usually personnel. And you can't have that for HIPAA violations and stuff anyways. So if you're going to have it, like, it's kind of a, no need to have that committee if you can't even have a committee meeting kind of deal. It was mainly to split up public safety, transportation, kind of modernize parks and green space to facilities, since we do have a lot of facilities now too that we have for rentals and stuff. And, yeah, we keep finance and planning and development.
All right, so here's let's throw you a curve. Give us an option. So tell us who you are putting in each of these, and then we'll all go, yeah, no, we're not doing that, no. Go ahead, tell us who you have
I
chosen.
got them right here.
Okay,
So I kept a lot of them the same. So Bill, I got you on Transportation Chairman with Lisa Newberry and Melanie Long as your committee chairs on that. For,
Okay, you can go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
and I can,
Copy for us?
yeah, do you have
Yeah.
us each a copy?
do you have a copy?
So, but the other thing is do you want to do
You're talking to your.
the chairman thing, or do you want to just, or do actual committees?
It's up to y'all. We could just do chairman, and then we
I'm
could
okay
go
with it.
for committees. So you don't want to do actual like committee, just have chairman?
I don't know.
What are y'all thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, if we're not gonna have committee meetings, there's no reason to have.
That's right.
Committees,
Yeah.
but you just have the chairman, and he just is the dude. And
The
then if we
dude?
have to have,
You're the
yeah, you're the
dude?
dude.
With that being said, if you have an issue that you need to talk
All
about,
right, we gotta hear, Councilman Keith.
if you've got an issue without a committee, that chairperson would then contact 3 or 4.
If there ever is in great need, I could possibly see that, but really, I think if I would just, they would lead that committee, they take ownership of that, so they'd be the ones going to and for staff.
So they would appoint their own committee? Or are you going to have people
I think it'd
from?
probably just be like a called council meeting if it's something really major, but I think we
Okay.
just handle it in council meeting,
Okay.
9 times out of 10,
All right, thank you.
let's be honest.
So if I can just kind of help bring some clarity, not only so I can make sure I know what y'all want me to do. So your charter, right? So your charter is sort of your constitution, and then your ordinances are the laws, right? Changing the charter, y'all can do on certain things, a little more complicated, and then change ordinance. So your charter gives the authority of the appointment of committees and members on those committees to the mayor, sort of carte blanche. He gets to choose who's on committees. Then your ordinance, section 221, it gets very confusing because they're both in section 2 of the charter, section 2 of the ordinances. 221 is where the standing committees are set. And those are the 6 that he listed out that need to be updated for whatever you have. And if you don't want to do economic development, we can always add one later, change the ordinance again and add one if you get a staff member or whatever. But what I think I'm hearing from y'all, just to make sure I'm clear, is that we would change this section 221 of your code of ordinances to get these committees to align and reflect with exactly what y'all are actually doing, instead of they're not currently. And then we would go ahead and add in an extra proviso, which is very common in almost all cities have it, that just says that then the mayor also may appoint special committees as the need arises for special situations, special projects, whatever, if you're going to build a dog park or whatever. But you wouldn't, from what I'm hearing, we're not going to need to change your charter. We're only going to need to change that ordinance, section 221 of your ordinance, to reflect what the actual standing committees are. And then whether or not y'all create, whether or not the committees convene or not is up to the committees.
There's no requirement.
There's no requirement that convene.
Is there a requirement to have members? Like we now have 3 members on each committee, is that a requirement?
There's no requirement, that's with the discretion of the mayor.
Okay,
That's with the
okay.
discretion of the mayor.
So I'll
I mean,
correct
in
this.
theory, he could appoint everyone to every committee. I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't make
okay.
any sense to do that, but he could.
All right, thanks, Paul.
So I made this thinking, I was trying to plan ahead. So I went ahead and kind of did it the way we do committees now. So everybody would kind of have the same amount and stuff like that. So really, it would just be the top name. So we can correct this, or I can correct this, or Danny can correct this, and we can just go with this.
I would like to propose that if we go with this, that we go with this for the first quarter and give it a test run.
I would like to know why I'm not on finance.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, but I still want to know why I'm not on finance.
All right, it's all about you, Patty, go ahead.
It is all about me for finance.
Oh,
you're
and I know,
right.
and I'd like to know why West, we have a fireman that's not public safety.
Yeah, so I kept public safety the same because I asked them, and then they were happy with, your leadership there. So I was like, oh, I really don't want to rock the boat there. Plus, if anything ever does come up with Walton County that we have to do agreements with, he's gonna have to excuse his vote most likely anyways. So if he was the chairman, he can really lead the chair on that. While also, I did put him on the committee if we were gonna do committees, so, and I still expect you to please, if we have anything fire-related come up, please be the subject matter expert for us, just like Bill is for transportation. If, I'm happy to tell you this, Patty. So, well, I'm not happy to tell you this, but you want me to talk about it, so we're gonna talk about it. All right, so when it comes down to finance, I really need people that are gonna work well with city staff. And let's just say you and Natalie might not gel very well together. And so I still will applaud you about doing anything financial. You can always double check and do stuff like you have been doing, but not be the chair, because the chair might actually need, I know Keith will have a lot to learn with finance, but I know Keith comes from the world of training in his current job. So I know he's going to go and take as much financial training as he needs, and he'll be able to sit down with Natalie and Danny and learn what he doesn't already know. They will train him up.
Okay, are you through?
Yeah.
Are you saying that because Natalie and I have had some disagreements, maybe twice in my 2 years, was it more than that, Natalie? That we are not equipped as professional adults making, or I did at one time, good money, she's making it now. We cannot be on a committee together because we don't get along? Is that a way to run a business? Who gets to make that decision? We are professionals. Nobody in this room, and I'm not bragging when I say this, there's not a person in this room that has my financial background. Not because I'm special, but because it was my career for 36 years. I have looked at every set of books that is known to mankind. I looked at certified audits every single day. I interviewed people. I know what to look for. I know what's right and wrong, or, you know, if I have questions, I have no problem asking questions. I have no problem making decisions about finances. It was my career. Why would you send somebody to school
We're not going
and
to
put them
school,
in
we're going to
and
training.
put training and
And
put them in a
talking with them.
position? I think the purpose of committees, if we're going to have them, and if you've got people with experience, it just makes logical sense that you would put those people ahead of committee. Now, everybody doesn't have an experience based on whatever a committee is. That's not the case in finances. Public utilities, I've seen Bill, and Bill will I've asked Bill a number of questions because I had no clue what he was talking about. And quite frankly, I don't want to have a clue. It's not my area of expertise. It's not my interest. I don't want to learn about it. I want to ask Bill about it and learn from him, but I don't know about pipes. And I mean, every time I ask a question, I use the wrong lingo because I don't know anything about it and don't want to know. I just, it's not my interest. So I am perplexed that you would not put me on finance. It's just not, in my opinion, a good business decision, and we are a business. The city is a business. So why would you not take your most experienced people and put them on a committee that they've got experience with and that they are excited to be on, would be excited to be on, and know what they're doing when on it? I don't get that. And your explanation just didn't do it for me. Now, I realize I have no say in it, bottom line, I realize that. But I think I still get to question it as a council member.
And that's fine, you do, and I believe it's okay for us to disagree as long as we disagree better than we have in the past. So we can agree to disagree on this. I do believe, I stand by, I want Keith on that committee. It is the mayor's decision, so I made that decision that we gotta stick to it. And Keith is going to be able to learn and be very good at what he's gonna do there. And I believe you, with your research ability, could be really good with public utilities as well. That is a very important job as well, because I know you and Melanie both have talked about infrastructure a lot. So that has a lot to do with that when it comes to the aging of our pipes and stuff like that. So please help us in that area of public utilities the best that you can with your research and your knowledge. I feel like about any one of us on there could do just about any one of these jobs. So it all boils down to who do I think is best for the city? And we may disagree on that, and that's okay to disagree, correct? You might not have to like it.
Oh, absolutely okay to disagree, and I don't like it at all. And I think my reasons are very sound for not liking it, and I think you're selling Natalie short, too. Natalie's a professional. She and I can work together. I think you're selling her short by using her as your reason.
I wouldn't
But
say
that's
it's
up to
just
her to
her.
comment on that. It's not up to me to defend her. But I just, I'm through talking, but public utilities, I forewarn y'all, I know nothing about, nor do I want to know about pipes and sewage and all of that stuff. But, I mean, I'll be on the committee.
If you don't want that committee, I could give it to Bill Duval instead. I know he's done it and probably be very good at it as well.
He is very good at it. That's what I said a minute ago. I always defer to Bill with my questions on all that
Well,
stuff.
then, Bill, you are now also chairman of Public Utilities.
That's his bailiwick.
All right. Now we need to actually approve the agenda part of the meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
So moved.
I got a first by Bill, I'll say a second by Patty. That's what I heard first, sorry, Lisa. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
There we go. All right, Lisa, planning and development.
We do not have anything to report on this month. There's no cases to hear. Robbie may have a comment or two about TPUDC. I think we're waiting on one council member to turn in their stakeholder nominee. Wes?
Yes,
Okay,
I've got one.
okay, and everybody,
Actually, Keith took, we had the same
heard.
person, but we'll get one.
Okay.
for you.
Awesome.
and everybody's got their one-on-one set up for this month with TPUDC.
I haven't heard from Robbie
Yeah, I
on
haven't.
when.
You've been
Or it's
given
in the
my-
works.
Okay.
Yeah,
in the works.
Okay.
yeah. And that's all we have.
You good, Robbie? Yep, okay. Thank you, Lisa. Finance and Human Resources. We don't have one of those currently, but we don't have anything on the report. Danny, do we have anything? Or Natalie?
Yeah, the financials are not in your packet, so, when we talk about moving the agenda up until Tuesday or whatever, so sometimes some of the months fall, and like this one did, December, it fell in 28th, I think so the financials are not done until the following month. So if we don't have the financials, there's no way to include the financials in your packet. So we currently don't have December's from the bank, so we can't do the financials. We can give you last month's for November, but you already approved those at the last meeting. So our goal is to have them by Thursday and put them in your packet, but in case you're looking for your financials, they're not there. I sent you an email explaining that, but we still, as of today, do not have. Oh, you got them today? So she'll hopefully have them in by Thursday for y'all to review.
Good deal. Well, thank
So
you,
we may
Danny.
run into that from here on, depending on when the agenda goes out. If it's, after sometimes it falls on the 2nd, sometimes it falls on the 28th.
Well, I know
Just know
in some, I'm on another few boards, and one of them, we always prove the month priors. Would that be something we should go to, or should we just keep it the way it is and expect it late every month?
We can, say February, approve December, is that what you're asking?
Yeah, so instead of approving that month, we approved the month before. So like next month, we would approve, what would it be, February's? Or-
Yeah, so at the February meeting, you would take.
Yeah, February's,
December.
the December meeting. Are
Right
y'all,
now, it's January approves December.
and that still mean we can get our packets as early as we're getting them.
Yeah, sometimes it's not gonna be an issue, but sometimes it is, depending on when it hits on the, that Wednesday hits, if it's in the month that we're in, or if it's gonna be the new month. So, we're at the mercy of the bank.
So that sounds like if we want to continue to get our agenda packets early, which I know we all appreciate, that might be something that I personally would be okay with. How about y'all?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yes, as long as the staff's okay with it.
Yeah,
'Cause
staff
the
okay with
burden's on
that?
them, not us.
Does that make y'all's life a little bit easier?
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Now we got Public Works Facilities. Patty Wolf.
You
Public
skipped right
safety.
over me.
Goodness.
gonna say, I think-
Goodness, I'm so sorry. Look at that. You know I was gonna make a, blunder eventually here. Public Safety Committee report. Councilwoman Long.
Thank you. The only business we have, first of all, before we do that, go ahead and put on the agenda for Thursday that Chief Tim Johnson has a presentation to make during the public safety things, if you want to put that
Awesome.
on there.
Already have it.
Okay, thank you. The next thing, we have a housekeeping item, and we have to reappoint every year our solicitor. And our solicitor is Larry Steele. He's been our solicitor for about 15 years, and they like him over there. He's doing a great job, and they've asked if we would reappoint him for another year, so I guess we can put that on the consent agenda if anybody doesn't have any questions.
We good with consent? Is that
Okay.
good for consent?
You good with that?
Sure.
So what,
All right.
what's the purpose of doing it every year?
The or-
A
ordinance says
contract.
so.
What?
The ordinance
Yeah.
addresses it every year.
Do we want to
Wanna
look at
change ordinance?
changing that
Do we
ordinance?
Do we have others
That
that are?
2
that
or
are
3 years?
No, it's just the solicitor.
Just a solicitor?
As Brandon mentioned, would that be something that we could probably look at and doing a longer term instead of just a year?
If he's okay with
Make it
it,
easier for staff.
maybe get it changed before next year, just so, because he might not want to do it more than 1 year. We haven't asked him that.
No, sure. Yeah, and, Danny can talk to him and go over there, and if we do, then we could look at maybe doing a 2 to 3 year cycle.
Yep.
Well, and again, I don't know if it's as much as him. I'm just wondering why the position, is there a reason for doing it year to year?
It's just the ordinance address annually.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay, so if we put that on consent, that is the only,
Sure.
It's on consent.
Y'all want Paul to draft a change in ordinance to 2 years?
you want to talk to Larry first? See if he's, I mean, he might like a
He might like a
year-to-year
one,
thing.
yeah.
He might not want to be locked in longer.
Okay, we'll talk to staff and come back with you.
Okay,
Does
Thank
it
you.
involve a raise every year, or doesn't involve money at all, so
Well,
there'd
I
be
mean,
no
he
re-
does get paid, but it's currently set the same.
Okay.
okay.
And just for my clarification, that wouldn't, doing the contract doesn't necessarily have anything to do with a raise. That could come anytime, correct?
Yeah, he's a contract employee that works for pleasure of the city council.
Okay, all right, thank you.
He works for our pleasure. I hate it when people.
All right. Is that all you got, Melanie?
That's it, thank you.
All right, no problem. Thank you. Now we got Public Utilities, Transportation.
Yeah, we got 2 expenditures tonight, one being we need 2,
Patty, I'm so sorry.
what?
I might have said it a little funky, but I actually said Public Utilities and
Oh,
Transportation.
I'm sorry.
So we
I'm
both
sorry.
went a
Yeah.
couple early.
Yes,
That was on me
I did
too.
go early, because there
It's
wasn't
okay.
anything for public utilities that's on the agenda.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, is it?
But that's
mine?
okay.
No,
I don't
Bill.
have anything.
Okay, now continue on. Thank you, Bill.
Okay, we have 2 heat pumps, water-sourced heat pumps that need to be replaced. They're 18 years old, which is about the age of my AC when I had to replace it. And they're unreliable, and they're leaking, and the failing of evaporator coils, they're just not working. And if we want the employees to be comfortable in their job, then we need to replace 2 units. I just found out, talking to Dustin, who's back there tonight, who's the director of facilities, that we have 18 of these units, and 16 more are 18 years old. So I said, okay. This, by the way, is $33,866, and that includes a 5% contingency, and it is budgeted. Got that out, but we have 16 others to look forward to. That kind of shocked me. So I would think if this one is going out, and Dustin might be able to confirm this, we can look forward to the 16 others whenever they decide they don't want to play.
Most likely.
Yeah, and could be any day. We're dealing with 2 tonight. I just got all caught up in the 16 others.
Do you want to put that on consent? Or
Yes.
Anybody on council have questions for
Yes.
Patty about that?
So, didn't we just do a couple, the first wing? Or we did
A year or two ago?
Yeah,
a
about
year or
a
so
year.
ago? So, are we using the same
No, we're
companies,
not.
the same stuff?
No, it's not the same company.
Not the same?
Conference systems.
This is-
It
Was
was,
the
that
same
the
as we,
same?
no, it was Michael Dermer did them before.
I think it was a different AC.
Didn't we use
unit.
Honest?
We
Let-
used
we'll
Michael.
let Dustin
That was
come up
for
and speak.
AC.
Was it?
All right, let's let Dustin. Microphone, please.
I believe y'all referred to the server room unit we replaced last year. It's it was a split duct unit. It's nothing compared to the heat
The
pumps
big
or
ones.
the water source heat pumps we have in our classrooms.
Gotcha.
And every
We have
classroom
replaced
has-
one, but I believe it's 4 years ago.
Yeah. Dropping like flies.
So the 16, you said they had 16 units that,
Not in tonight's
okay.
proposal, but yeah,
Future
to look
purposes.
forward to in the future.
So we're looking at $300,000 in the
It
future?
could be.
Okay.
And we don't know when, of course, nobody does. But yes, to answer your question, if we could put that on consent, unless somebody has questions, and I think y'all said you did.
Is everybody else good with consent?
Yes.
Yep. All right, so that is on consent.
Now, next I have a computer type thing with Kyle, and I've asked Kyle to explain this one because it involves conduits and things that, which I know nothing about. It's pretty straightforward, but anyway, Kyle, if you would, please. Oh, right here.
I'm so sorry. Let me move the podium for you.
Well, Brandon, thank you.
I'll be honest with y'all, earlier today, I actually had the podium there, and that's where I was gonna stand. But then I felt like people would be staring daggers through my back the whole meeting, so I ended up moving over there, but I was gonna move it back there for public comment for later. I do think going forward, I'm not trying to interrupt you, Kyle, I'm so sorry. Going forward, instead of keeping the podium over there, we do keep it in the middle from now on, because when I was sitting over there, it's really hard to keep eye contact and actually understand what they're saying over there. And also, when we have it here, they're actually formally addressing us better than the whole room as itself. So just wanted to let y'all know, I'm probably gonna have the podium kind of where we're sitting-ish going forward.
I've noticed other council members that have, meetings that I've watched.
Yeah, theirs is
It's
in
always
the
in the
middle.
center.
It's usually in the center,
Uh-huh,
yeah.
yeah.
It's not, I think, the Walton County still has theirs on the side too.
Well, we-
But Monroe has theirs in the middle.
Yeah, it's hard,
okay.
when you're on this end, it's hard to hear, and you can't, I like to look at somebody in the face.
Yeah, I do
when I'm-
too.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm standing on the table right now.
And you get daggers
This is
in
a
your
little
back.
close. No offense. The podium also blocks this side of the table, so when you moved it, I was like, yeah, that's great. Because you two, cameras behind me, so.
Yeah, Kyle had the suggestion I move it so we could see Keith and Melanie better on the cameras. So I was like, yeah, let's move it.
Okay, so the fiber conduit. What y'all see on the staff report is really just empty conduit. I haven't planned for any of the fiber yet. The conduit needs to be installed from a handhole we have here at City Hall up to the new library, which will actually grab the rock gym and the ag building on the way. The reason it came up, the main reason it came up is because of the grading and everything going on the library property and the concrete that's gonna go in on the library property. We have security cameras that are gonna be installed all around the outside of the library. And the antennas that we have up connecting everything right now can't support any more cameras. This is actually a project that we've been trying to do for about 5 years, and other projects have kind of taken it over just because it's low on the priority list, so now it's higher priority. And we're asking for $22,527. and that includes a contingency for rock. Utilities have told me over the years, there's a lot of rock down Main Street, right there near the church and near the Rock Gym and Ag building, so we're hopefully planning for that.
But this also goes to help fix some of the connection issues and stuff when people rent out and when we use the buildings over there for Rock Gym and the Ag building.
Yes, that's correct. So that's part of the reason we've been trying, so just a real brief networking thing, all the way from the Anna Holbrook to the Health Department to the Town Green to the Rock Gym to the Ag building, those are all daisy chained antennas between all those buildings, so we have no solid connectivity. The antennas are going out of date, so they're all gonna have to be upgraded at some point, but the goal of this is to eventually get to the Town Green, so it'll hit everything to the Town Green. The intersection right next to the Town Green, AT&T has main trunk lines that kind of run through some huge ducts underground right there. So in order to get this done quickly, we didn't plan to connect to Town Green because there might be a lot more engineering and planning to go along with it, so. But yeah, this will fix we have major problems with the antenna from City Hall to the Rock Gym. We actually cut some huge trees out back, trying to make it connect better, and it just, it has kind of low signal, so this will help fix that.
Would this is my ignorance right here, but would this have anything to do with YouTube at the Rock Gym? No? Okay. So
I'm not sure
will
what you
it-
mean, YouTube at the Rock
I
Gym.
mean, because now we can't, if we have anything at the Rock Gym, we can't YouTube it?
That more has to do with the cameras that we have and the computer we use. When you,
Okay.
This wasn't reinventing the wheel doing this table.
Okay.
If you pick up all this technology, we have a pretty good YouTube stream. If you watch a lot of different cities and what they do, we kind of have a pretty solid stream. It's pretty clear. We have little glitches. But when you pick up all this stuff and you tell us, here, hook it up here and make it work, it's kind of like things are bound to happen and you're kind of asking for trouble. So almost anything can be done if you have the money and you have the time and we can get it going. But the reason that we say that is because you guys aren't going to be happy with it and the citizens aren't going to be happy with it. And our goal is to give like a good product, right? Like a business would want to give their best product, but that's what we want to give. So 99% chance I'm always going to recommend we don't move the meetings.
Okay.
We always keep everything here.
So how deep does it have to be bored?
We do 18 to 20 inches. A lot of that's going to have to do with the rock because we actually, when they put in the stuff in front of City Hall right here, it goes all the way, you know, where the payment drop box is. Directly across the parking lot from that, there's a handhole and there's a fire hydrant right next to it. And back when they installed all that, they said they were supposed to go up Main Street further to the Rock Gym and stuff. And they said, this is as far as we can go because of the rock. Well, the water line had to go deeper and the fiber didn't, but they stopped it all at the same place. So I'm kind of hoping we don't hit rock because we only have to do 18 to 20 inches, but can't make any promises, so.
Any more questions? You got a
I do have a question. This is basically to benefit the library, so is this coming out of their,
It's camera systems for us, has nothing to do with the library. We're putting camera systems on outside of the building for security reasons.
Good.
It's not to give the library internet, it's not, they have their own separate, the library will not be connected to our internet.
okay.
So this is just for the camera system that we have, camera system
Does our
here.
current library have a camera system?
We do not have cameras. They have
Not
their
there.
own camera
They have
system
their
at the
own cameras.
library.
They're
These
very good.
cameras will also, they'll support the parking lot, all the citizens that come in and out. These are our cameras only. The new library, they're installing their own entirely separate camera system and access control badge system, totally separate.
Yep.
We asked to have our own. They kind of wanted to finagle something, and we wanted to make sure we had access to track our own video storage and stuff like that, so.
Okay.
One quick question. With the cameras that would be installed, would they be accessed to PD as well? So just in case it would be stored footage, if you will?
Yeah, the police department, well, they call me the way it is right now with our current system. Our goal is to replace it with a newer system that they can access it on their own, but
Okay.
that's a whole different project. But the goal eventually is that, yes, the chief actually calls me. Like we have cameras on the Town Green that look at Main Street and stuff, and he'll call me and say, look for this type of car, it was coming this direction or whatever. and we look it up. So it gives that ability also.
Okay, good, thank you.
What's the time frame in doing this, and what about permits with GDOT?
I haven't even started with GDOT, so that's actually going to be probably a month. And then the contractor didn't give me a timeline, but
Okay.
he would fit us in pretty quick. GDOT's going to be our holdup, so I have to get it engineered. Hopefully we can get, it's a pretty simple, straight thing, but hopefully we can get it engineered pretty quickly too.
Any more questions?
No.
I'd like to put this on consent if we might. Is that okay?
Everybody
Thank you
good?
Thank you.
very
Yep.
much.
You can just leave it there, it's fine. It's heavy.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you so much, Kyle.
And that is it for me, Brandon.
Thank you, Patty. All right, Economic Development Committee report. Danny, do we have anything?
No.
Chrissy, do you have any events or anything you want to talk about? I know it's kind of our slow season here for events. She's in the plan, she doesn't have a mic, so I'm going to translate for her. She's in the planning process, hiring bands and so forth for Grooving on the Green, I'm guessing.
Yep. I'd like to say something. I know I briefly talked to Christy and Danny about this, but when we had Jake Rager do the worship service after the town green, the tree lighting, I enjoyed the service. Seemed like a lot of people did enjoy it, and I'd like to see if we might want to consider maybe working him into the schedule this year.
For the tree lighting again?
No,
Or
just
for
for
the
like a
actual-
Sunday night, Sunday afternoon or Saturday afternoon, something different.
Kind of a mini grooving on the green kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah, anything we can do to get people to downtown, I'm for.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chrissy, you got another task, I'm sorry. So if Danny gives you a hard time, you know it came from council. All right,
Give them her.
so we're going to city manager's report. Danny?
The only thing I have kind of goes with events. I am working with the DDA on an event. I'm not gonna say what it is. I don't want to steal their thunder, but I have to give them verbal approval to use one of the facilities for an event. They are an extension of the city. I don't think y'all have a problem with that. So they're gonna be responsible for the cleanup and stuff like that. We're just, since they are a city, there will be no fees, but I'll let them announce it at one of their meetings. That's all I have.
Awesome, sounds good to me. Thank you, Danny. All right, Paul?
Yes, sir, Mayor, thank you. The first item really probably could have been a public utilities matter, but it got thrown in my lap because I was the last one to look at it. This is intergovernmental agreement with Gwinnett County. I'll let Danny explain it in detail. I've reviewed the agreement and it's fine. A lot of this predates me, but under y'all, because I wasn't involved in your last SDS negotiations. But under your SDS negotiations, Gwinnett County has the water and y'all have the sewer. In certain areas of your city, but they don't have water and they don't have water to certain areas. So this agreement essentially is a modification of your SDS agreement that allows the city to provide water and sewer to the Tuck Farm parcel, because otherwise there wouldn't be water and sewer available for it. So I'll let Danny clarify if I'm getting the actual details wrong, but it's the large parcel over there off Tuck Farm Road that there is no Gwinnett County water, and so the only way you can get water is for the water and sewer to come from Loganville. And as you know, if you're selling them sewer, you definitely want to be selling them water for the economics and the finances of it. And so this agreement essentially gives a change to the SDS to allow the city to service the specifically identified parcels that are listed in the agreement. I think it's about 240 acres or so of city dirt, most of it in Walton County, some of it in Gwinnett County, to service both water and sewer. And I'll be happy to answer any questions, and the man who knows more about it than me is standing right there.
Yeah, pretty much everything Paul said is correct. There's two tracks, one's Tuck Farm, one's 520 Brand Road. These are both annexations that were approved, that came to y'all and approved by y'all with a contingency that they would have to get approval through Gwinnett before we would provide the sewer. This kind of ratifies what this county manager told me back then, that they would have no issue providing the sewer and the water, or giving it to us, because we will not provide the sewer without the control of the water. So this IGA just clarifies that the SDS, which is the government document, it says what government can provide what service. So This just gives us the authority to provide the water and the sewer.
And correct me if I'm wrong, SDS means service delivery schedule?
Strategy.
Strategy, that was close.
If you'd have read your staff report, it would have been in there.
Yeah, I know it was in there. I'm trying to go off the old noodle here.
Yeah, so I'm happy to answer any questions. Simple IGA.
Any questions? The council, the Danny, our Paul?
Just real quick, with the changes that came out this morning, that doesn't affect any.
No, Paul sent me those changes. He has no comments on those. They were mostly just some clarification, indemnification for the Gwinnett Water Sewer Authority. I believe.
Yeah, they just added another lawyer looked at them, and so
Yeah.
there was some more lawyer language. There was an indemnification provision added. I don't have a problem with it based upon the terms of the agreement, because once you're providing the water and the sewer, you're providing the water and sewer. So the issue of indemnification coming into effect doesn't concern me. So it was, the Gwinnett County attorneys had already passed it, and then they let us know at the last minute, oh, by the way, the Gwinnett Water and Sewer Authority attorneys also had to look at it, so they had some additional changes. So that's why there was a last minute red line that came to you.
Okay, thank you.
And for those new members, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but IGA is intergovernmental agreement. SDS is service delivery strategies. That's done every 10 years. We're about to start gearing up here in the next year to start that wonderful process again. But yes. So if you look at the SDS, it's only 700 something pages, but it'll show you the maps of the area, who provides what, and that was one of the issues. If we don't change it, then we don't provide the utilities.
How much sewage line do we have to add from that location?
Well, the contractor will be responsible for adding the utilities. So it'll be on their cost. But for Tuck Road, it'd be a good bit of, water's there. We currently ran water for Destination Park for the new members, several years ago, 2022, I believe it was. Sewer will be the issue. They'll more likely have to upgrade a pump station or add a pump station. But I think when we looked at the Tuck Farm, there was gonna be a new pump station. Is that correct, Brandon? I believe they were gonna add a new pump station with a new force main to serve that project, because it's a very large project that was approved by you all. And now you all, because you're council members.
All right. Any other questions for Danny? And can this be put on consent as well?
I believe
Since it's a IGA, we don't need to read it twice or anything like we do an ordinance?
No, it can go on consent agenda.
Okay. Are y'all okay with consent agenda for this?
Now, hold up. Before, now, they're gonna do the expansion on 20, right, at some point. Is that gonna have any
Define who.
issues, well, with the Tuck Farms versus when the DOT expands 20? Is that gonna cause any problems or cost the citizens any extra money or anything like that?
No, because the developer would have to put it in the right of way. Or they will have to give us easements, depending on where they go with it. But usually the force main would go in the right of way, and that would be the new right of way. Once GDOT, if they ever decide to do that project. But yes, they have that was one of the, oh, you like that little plug? Yeah. I believe most people have the current what the new right of way is going to be. Now, can that change? Absolutely. But they probably would wait until that was project started before they would put a multi-million-dollar line in. But that would be all of their cost.
All right, well, if y'all are good with consent, good with consent, Wes? All right, so we'll add that to consent as well. And now for the city charter updates.
Thank you, Mayor. This is just some cleanup when we were doing some work on something else unrelated last year. And then there was another one that Danny noticed that we needed to do a cleanup of your charter. So your charter is what governs you guys. State law governs you. Your charter is like your local constitution. You have the ability to change your local constitution, your charter, via home rule on certain items. You're not able to change it under other certain items. This is one of the items that you can. This cannot go on consent agenda because I have to have y'all approve this charter change at this January meeting, and then I have to have you approve it again at the February meeting. I also have to have it advertised, which the ads are going in for the next 3 or 4 weeks ahead of your February meeting. Basically, Georgia law was changed, I think it was about 25 years ago, that changed residency requirement from 2 years to 1 year, and y'all's charter still just read the 2-year language for residency requirement to qualify as a elected official. And then there was just a typo in the vacancy section. It referenced Article 5, and it should have referenced Article 6. I think an article got changed around at some point, and then that just was not caught. So basically, the only changes are just what I'll call lawyer cleanup. In Section 211, changing the qualification requirement from 2 years to 1 year to comply with Georgia law as to council member and mayor. And then in Section 212, changing the reference to the correct article of Article 6 on how vacancies are filled should there be a vacancy in any of your seats. I'll be happy to answer any questions. This cannot go on consent agenda. I'd ask for this to be an action item on Thursday. I'll need y'all to take action approving this ordinance to the charter change, and then we'll do it again next month, because that also complies with Georgia law, and then we'll send it into the Secretary of State.
All right, we got any questions for Paul?
Yes, because I don't like it, and I think you and I, we've had some conversation today. And I asked, what was the implication if we don't adopt the 1 year? Because I feel like the state of Georgia and the country, this is just a way to change demographics. We're already a transient community, and now we're gonna say that people that have only lived here 365 days could be sitting here making very important decisions, and I'm not happy with that. So if we don't change ours to 1 year, what's the implication of that?
Then your ordinance is not in compliance with Georgia law, and if you, you would have a really tough time challenging the qualification of a qualifier for a municipal election. The law is blatantly clear, the state law is blatantly clear, that the qualification for municipal office is 12 months, and that you can have a shorter restriction if you want to by charter, but you cannot have a longer restriction.
But I also noticed they're 21 years of age and we're 18. Can we change ours to 21? Everything I read from the state of Georgia was 21 years of age, and why are we at 18 years of age?
Because we're smarter here in Louisville. That's why.
Because we had to pull them out of the farm fields early,
Well,
and
There you go.
whatever you
Here we
did
go.
back then.
You know, I mean, I'm not happy with the 2 year, with going down to 1 year. And if we're gonna change one, let's change the other. If we're gonna match them, let's match them. So we go with 21 years of age.
The
Yeah,
current
so,
one was
okay.
21 years of age.
Say that again, I'm
The
sorry.
current application was 21 years of age.
For mayor, it's 18 for council and
Yeah.
21 for
Okay, yeah.
mayor, yeah. So, all right, so let me
I see that,
make sure I understand the question. Your question is why are we at 18?
Yeah,
That's because that's what your charter says,
So-
and that is permitted under state law.
right. Can we change it to 21?
If y'all
I
want
mean,
to
if we
change,
as a group did, could we?
yes, you could. It is not a provision of your charter that requires Gold Dome approval. It is still a provision that allows for home rule change.
Okay,
So yes, you could do that if you so choose.
okay.
Paul, do you know why, and I've got the law here in front of me, do you know why they're separated? The municipality says 12 months, you're correct on that, which you knew you were, but I don't need to tell you. And it separates the county. Why didn't it just say county? I don't know why they separate the two.
I am not
It just
employed by the
kinda
Office of
crazy.
Legislative Counsel.
Okay.
And certainly was not about 25 years ago when this statute was updated, so you'd have to go speak to your state
Okay.
legislators or the Office of Legislative Counsel as to the
It
basis and
seemed
the
odd to
reason.
me that separate, they're saying the same thing, they just separate it. Now, prior to 2010, it was, the municipalities could be 2 years if they wanted to be. So maybe they just kept the wording. I don't know, I just thought it was strange. But anyway, okay.
Well, are y'all okay with changing the age for council to 21?
I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with that.
okay.
All right, so I guess, could that be something that could be easily changed before Thursday's vote?
It cannot.
So
Ads
we
are
have to
already in.
advertise.
So if y'all want to change
Oh, it's
that,
already out.
then either we'll just need to kill this and we'll have to cut, because I've got to run it in a certain timing. Changes in my charter are very time-specific and very exacting, so
Well, we don't have an election for 2 years, so I think we're good on the time.
we can do it at another time if y'all want to dig into that. But this one I mean, if y'all want this to be done in conjunction with the change just to come into compliance. So the change you're talking about is one that, and I'm going to go back and research it to make sure I'm not missing something, because that one was just brought up tonight. Because all we were dealing with prior to tonight, when we got all this done, was just the issue of the complying with Georgia law in the 2 years and 1 year. So we'll go back and look at the age issue and make sure that there's nothing else that we're missing. But if y'all want them to go conjoined, then we need to pull it all and we'll just do it all another date. My
fine.
suggestion would be, let's go ahead and get this one done that complies with Georgia law because it's explicitly clear in the law. And then if y'all want to do the age qualification change, we can double check that, research it, make sure we're not missing anything, and bring that one before you at a later council meeting later this year. Because you don't have another election for another 22 months or so.
So either way, they'll be changed by the next election, either option we choose. Sorry, I'm being told I need to scoot up closer to the mic by Kyle back there.
Me?
No, Brandon.
Brandon.
Okay, I was about to say, normally I'm the
Sorry,
loud one.
no. I could read his eyes.
Well, I would prefer to do them both at the same time, but whatever y'all want to do.
I think if we're this close on the first one, go ahead and finish it up, and then we could work on the age one and get it done before the next election.
It's already before us, we already have plans for it to be advertised. Might as well.
Yeah.
And we'll get the other one as soon as we can with this.
Yeah.
Make sure we have it done relatively soon. What do you think, Paul, how long it would take? Give or
It
take?
won't- We can start it in the next cycle, and it'd be a February, March. I mean, it won't be that, we just need to double check and make sure that it still is also available under home rule, which I think that it would be.
Okay.
All right, so if y'all don't mind placing this on the agenda for action on Thursday night.
Will do.
It'll be our only thing, right?
Correct. All right. So, next up is public comment. Is we need to do anything else in the meeting? We all want to close the meeting and then open it up for public comment? All right, if everything else is done in the meeting, I will take a motion to close the,
We don't close it.
oh, we don't, oh, man, see, there we go. So now we're open for public comment. I will say if Wes or Keith want to say anything, if y'all do want to go to the microphone first, please feel free. I kind of prefer to have that kind of in public time, because I want to kind of, once y'all go to y'all's training, you understand that they make a big thing about politicking during meetings for best. So we want to kind of keep all that separate from the business meeting. We got to keep that separate from the business meeting. So if y'all have anything, if y'all want to say it, please do before public comment. Or y'all can, if y'all want to stay late, we can, I'm sorry, take pictures, stuff like that, or we can do it all on Thursday. I know it's y'all's first meeting. I know it's exciting. And I'm sure y'all want to get pictures up there on the dais and stuff like that. So we're open to it whenever.
Y'all excited?
And I will say
I'm
that we're
I'm
not,
looking forward to this.
but we're gonna call this like the retreat setup, but every other meeting, unless we need to have like a big discussion or do a retreat, we're going back to the dais for every other meeting. It was just like the first meeting thing, so nobody get used to this. Please, we're gonna go back to normal. But yes, sorry.
No, I'm good. I don't have anything special to say, but thanks for the opportunity.
Well, welcome aboard. And you too, Wes. We're happy to have y'all, both of y'all.
Yes, sir.
Anything from public comment?
They're excited.
All right, there you go.
I can tell.
All right. All right. Well, I'm going to close public comment. Do we have executive session tonight, Paul?
No, there's no need for executive session, and also on that, unless it's something last minute that doesn't come up, we're gonna always, just so y'all know, so you can plan ahead. If we know that we need an executive session, again, for the new guys, right, the executive session items are either a litigation-based matter, personnel matter, or a real estate matter. And so if we know we're gonna have one, you'll see an agenda item underneath executive session as much as we can in advance to say litigation or. So if you don't see it, keep your fingers crossed that nothing's crept up and we won't have one. So no executive session for this evening, Mayor.
Thank you so much. One more thing before we close, I forgot. Please, new members or even current members, because I know I got to brush up on this stuff every now and then. Please get with Danny, because we have resolutions for decorum for meetings and stuff like that too. And also, I believe Danny might reach out to y'all soon if he hasn't already. I know you've probably seen enough fire stations for you to last a lifetime. But he actually will, I might be speaking for you, Danny, I'm sorry. Just show y'all around the city, go to the pump stations, go actually see how the city operate. It's very informative, so please
Very
do that.
good, very good.
And if y'all need, not everybody gets shirts from the city, but if you do want to get shirts for the city, if you want to start wearing those like on Monday night meetings, talk to Christy, she can order you some and get the city logo on it. Or you have a nice shirt, so you want that one to have a logo, you can just take that to her and she'll get a city logo put on for you. But anyways, that's all we have.
Let me, before you close, just ask council members, do y'all, because I don't want to get in here Thursday and everybody be going, I want that seat, I want that seat. Do y'all have a preference, cause on seating, and let's just get that out of the way so we come in and sit down?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit in Brandon's old chair, since he's
Oh, I
putting,
thought you
he's
were gonna say his
putting,
new chair. Okay.
that's
his
in 4
old
years,
chair.
Patty.
What? Nothing.
I said
Lisa's
we-
sitting
Oh, she
in
said
my
that's 4
chair,
more
and
years.
then I'm sitting in Brandon's chair.
I believe Lisa's giving me the eyes that we might be getting off topic a little bit. I do want to try and stay on agenda the best we can, so, but please, we can stay late and talk about it, and please get it decided, and y'all can do that, before Thursday for definitely sure. So if that's nothing else, let's please. Yeah, just put it, a motion by Lisa, second by Keith Colquitt. All in favor, say aye. Aye.